Well, hello, hello. Welcome all to the Unleash Your Charisma online workshop. I will not call it a webinar, online workshop, because this is a hands-on workshop where you will learn, you can ask questions, interact with us, and hopefully by the end of this, you will learn how to improve your stage presence. And just a reminder for those of you who will put on webinars, always have a sticky on your laptop before you start, especially if you are at the beginning, then you get nervous and you forget to press the record button, number one. Number two, always check if people can hear you. Because in the beginning, I presented a couple of webinars when nobody could hear me. And they were messaging me that I cannot hear you, we cannot hear. But I was on a roll and I was nervous and I didn't look at messages. I just delivered my webinar. But at least if you press record, you can use that webinar recording to chop it up for YouTube, put it in your membership site. You can repurpose it for many things. Now, these days, you can transcribe it and you can transcribe it and create blog posts, all kind of things. So the main thing is press the record button, but also check if people can hear you. All right, so welcome, Adria. Oh my God. Did you send me a bio?
I certainly did.
By email?
No, on LinkedIn.
On
On
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
Okay.
I sent you a PDF.
Yes, yes. Okay, so let's pretend that I did not ask that.
Okay.
Adria is my good friend. I'm always inspired when I talk to her. She's a true powerhouse in the world of charisma, communication, and personal transformation. She's a best-selling author, international speaker, and certified rapid results coach. She spent decades commanding the stage and coaching others to do the same. With a career spanning award-winning performances in opera and musical theater, including her world-renowned portrayal of Carmen and appearances on Family Guy. What? Adria has captivated audiences from Shanghai to the Pacific Rim, Cairo to Canada, and even for our troops during Desert Storm. Wow. Now she channels the same magnetic energy into empowering entrepreneurs, executives, and performers to own the room, speak with confidence, and lead with presence. Whether it's on video, in the boardroom, or on stage, she helps clients eliminate fear, enhance their presence, and master the vocal, visual, and verbal skills needed to inspire and influence. She transformed hesitation into confidence, invisibility into impact, and fear into fearless presence. She specializes in erasing stage fright quickly and permanently using a blend of NLP, TMRT, and proven performance techniques. Her Shine Online program helps business owners and thought leaders step into visibility with ease, and her signature coaching programs unlock the power of authenticity, presence, and influence. Adria believes that charisma isn't a gift, it's a skill, and anyone can learn it. If you are ready to be seen, heard, and remembered, Adria Firestone, or as I say it, Adria Firestone, is the mentor who will take you there. Let's give Adria a big welcoming round of applause. Yay!
Thank you so much.
And on my bio, in parentheses at the bottom says, lead in applause. And then once the person who introduced me, she read lead in applause. And then she one lesson quickly, because I will not remember it, and probably Adria will not mention it. Don't ever start a presentation with you introducing yourself. If I don't have somebody with me, I will ask one of the attendees to introduce it. Well, the organizer ideally, but if the organizer is not available, I will ask one of the attendees to introduce me. So yeah, sometimes I picked a slower reader, but usually it always works out great, and that makes all the difference. You should not start by, hi, I'm Adria Firestone, and this and that. All right, Adria. So tell us a little bit about how can people improve their stage presence with more charisma? What can we do to improve our charisma? We all want it, I know that.
Well, charisma is often thought about, and I admit that I thought of it as something that was artificial, something that could be manipulative, something that meant you knew how to read someone, you knew how to work with them, you could convince them to do things, because I was raised by someone like that. And what I learned was that instead, charisma is, yes, there are so many, because I spent so many years on stage, there are so many physical techniques that you use on stage to better be able to connect with an audience, of course. But the place that charisma begins is here and here, is if you are willing to open your heart and open your mind and be willing to actually be seen. I'm not talking about your image, I'm talking about your essence. When that happens, who you truly are is as unique as your fingerprint, as your voice print. When you have the courage to say, this is who I am, and I know, even though I get scared, that I'm enough. When you feel that and you are motivated to share yourself, because what happens is when we get on stage or when we are in a meeting, we all of a sudden revert to those children in school who used to do show and tell. This is my new pen, and my pen really writes well. No, it's not about show and tell. I'm not here to say to you, look how well I speak. Oh, aren't I good? Didn't I sing good? No, it's not about that. It's about I am here to serve. And I'm so excited about what I have to share. And to me, that's the key word. I'm so excited by what I have to share that everything else disappears. I get nervous every time I'm going to do an interview, a concert, an opera. I always get scared. I was nervous 15 minutes ago. That always happens to me because I'm wondering, will I be articulate enough? Will I be able to share my passion in a way that is useful to another human? That, to me, that ignition that is ignited by the passion of who you are and why you want to share yourself, that is absolutely the key to charisma. It is a mindset. It is a heart set. It is, I have 1,000 physical techniques to show you. Of course I do. I spent more than half my life on the international stage. I know technique, but I too was hiding in the spotlight. And what I did to protect myself was cover myself with an avatar that was a very powerful character called Carmen. She was a gypsy, and she would do anything except not allow herself to be imprisoned. That's where Carmen and I matched each other. Well, I used that as the front to show that I was bold and I was brave. I wasn't. What I learned when I finally walked off stage was that it takes a lot more guts to show who you are instead of hiding behind a character.
All right, let me recap what you said, because your charisma and delivery is so bright and blinding. Sometimes people miss the message. First, you said that you were nervous before the event, and
Yes.
rightfully so, because you're well known for mumbling and stumbling, I'm kidding. No, you are one of the most eloquent, just the message just flows out of you. It's amazing. But Aretha Franklin used to throw up before each event. They say, I want to not believe that. Maybe at the beginning, because at the beginning I was horrified before each of my events. I couldn't sleep. But after a few years, I'm looking forward to get on a stage. I'm looking forward to get to start the workshop. But think of it, and you said that serve, that to think about it as I'm here to serve.
Yes.
Like if you think of it as a performance, like I'm out there to be like Tony Robbins, like I thought I had to be like Tony Robbins or Tony Alessandro or anybody else whose name starts with Tony. But once you and the hardest lesson I learned was to be yourself, just be yourself. And I'm like, who wants to see E.G. Sebastian? I need to be professional. I need to be like the Tonys or some other famous speaker. So I always tried, like I was very guarded and tried to be very professional. And that puts lots of pressure on you. And once I embraced the concept of just be yourself, I mean, just think about it. If you know how to grow tomatoes and somebody asks you how to grow tomatoes, then you get excited and passionate. Oh, it's really easy. You just make sure to first test your soil. The extension does it for free for you. Then buy the right soil, the one that they recommend you to buy. Put them in pots. It's easier, and they give you a mate. So, and you get so excited. How about if 2 people want to hear that? How about if 10, 20, 100? You still talk about the same thing. You're there to serve, to help them grow those tomatoes. So whatever you present, make sure that you present something that you know, number one, and then go in with the intention that I'm here to serve, to share my knowledge. And that takes away lots of pressure.
It does.
My number one feedback on the forums, the feedback forums is like conversational, down to earth, and easy going. Because I look at it as a conversation. So that's, and then there was a third thing that you said. What was the last thing you said?
I have no idea, darling. You know, I get
You were
excited.
on the flow. Let me watch the replay.
And I think something that you said that triggered something in me right now is, Sebastian, when we compare ourselves to others, that is deadly. Comparison is deadly. I know this with my students at the university. I know this with my clients who are worried about being Tony Robbins. The only Tony Robbins in the world is Tony Robbins. If not, you're just a poor imitation. Judy Garland said the best thing that you can be is completely yourself. And each of us, who we are, but via nature and via nurture, those two things make us completely unique in this world. There is no one like you that is exactly like you, not even a twin. So what happens is we have to have the courage to accept. I look at it as you walk into a mall and you want to go to Macy's and you go to the directory and there's a dot that says, a red dot that says you are here. And Macy's is all the way over there. The fact is, right now, at this moment in our lives, you are here. We are here. We are completely ourselves. And if we have the continued courage to show up, that's 90% of the battle. Because most of us, and I am included, with all that was happening in my life in the past 10 years, I was in hiding. I was in hiding. And it took great courage to come out as Adria, just Adria. So I liken it that I've come out of my spiritual closet. This is who I am. I'm intense. I'm passionate. For some people, I'm way too much. And that's okay. That's how you define your audience, by the ones who say, "Oh, I love what not only what she said, but how she said it," or "Oh, she's just way too much. I can't stand it. I'm going away." And it's all okay. It's all okay.
Let me interject here. So there are 3 kinds of speakers when it comes to 3 kinds of people when it comes to public speaking. One of them is like a little bit like me and Adria. Adria is it's a different level from me as far as intensity. But there are people who are very intense. They keep talking. They drive people around them nuts because we have so much to share. And instead of driving them nuts, we get paid to speak. We get a career in paid speaking or coaching or consulting because then we get paid to speak. We don't have to drive those around us nuts for free. And then on the other extreme are the shy people who are more reserved, but they have an amazing value to share with the world. And most people are stuck in between that continuum. Something you said that half the battle is, or I think you said 90%, is showing up.
Yes.
I was told back in 2003 that the number one way to get coaching clients was through public speaking because you get instant credibility and you get that know, like, and trust factor.
Mhm.
except I had a horrible phobia of public speaking, not fear, but phobia.
Wow.
So I
Wow.
got coaching. I signed up for all of the classes, and I just kept on showing up. I joined Toastmasters, and in my first 3-minute Toastmasters speech, I had 57 ahs and ums, and you know what I means.
Wow.
So that's where I'm coming from. But I kept showing up. Also, I learned that video is the number one. Both are number one because video has the opportunity to go viral
It
and
does.
sell you 24/7. My first videos were horrible. For me to shoot a 3 to 5 minute video took me 10 hours. And when I watched a couple of years ago, I watched my first videos and I was like, hi, this is E.G. Sebastian. And my face was like, E.G. Sebastian. It's like I had constipation. And in this video, I will tell you about, oh my God, I was so I deleted lots of them. I put them on private. I kept a few so I can show them as an example on where I came from. But you keep showing up, you keep doing it, do it in a safe environment with
Yeah.
Toastmasters in the beginning if you have to, Rotary clubs, whatever, do free events, speak at free events, but just keep on showing up. And video is another great way to practice your presence, your speaking. And somebody asked me, Asha asked me why she cannot start her video. Um, so on the bottom, the video, there's that birdie. So that should allow you, or actually, no, you should just be able to click on the video. So if not, maybe you don't have a video camera hooked up. But yeah, if possible, yeah, turn your video cameras on. And if
Yes,
not,
I'd
then
love to see you.
yes.
Absolutely, please.
All right, go for it.
All right. Anything else?
Okay, so
Sebastian, that you
charisma. Charisma is half of it is the presence. But can we do anything to improve our voice, our delivery?
absolutely. Absolutely. The mindset and the concept of wanting to share rather than show and tell, rather than showing someone how good you are, immediately you're fencing yourself in, you're scaring the wits out of yourself. But to sound better, your voice is your calling card. Your voice is your calling card. When you say hello to someone, you can put your heart in your voice. Now, it's easy for me to say this because I first walked on stage when I was 10 years old. All right? I walked off when I was 50. And I said to myself, I never thought that all the time I was working on how to sing, I was learning how to speak. And you know what it's all about? Breath. If we don't breathe, one, we're not alive. That's one, okay? So, one of the things that I'd like you to try with me right now is back into your chair if you're sitting down, or just back up against a wall, put your thumb on your belly button, and rest your hand on your belly, okay? And now, when you breathe in, if you just breathe in, you should feel your stomach come out because the thing that controls that, like turning on a water hose, when you turn it on full blast and the water starts coming out, it's the faucet that controls it. What's controlling the flow of breath is your diaphragm. So the diaphragm is here, right? Here's your rib cage. Here's your rib cage. Right under the rib cage, this is how the diaphragm looks. When you breathe in, this pulls down the lungs. It pulls them open, which allows the air to fall into your lungs. You don't have to go, I have to breathe now. No, the air will fall in. But the thing that allows that to happen are your abdominal muscles. So when I'm teaching voice, be it voice in speaking or voice in singing, one of the things we have to do is connect your body to the voice, because if you notice the resonance of my sound, I'm not speaking from here. I'm speaking with my entire body. Therefore, the sound is rounder. It is softer. It is more intense as well. And when you have a compelling voice and you've connected to your breath, you won't get tired. You won't get tired when you have to speak for an hour or when I'm teaching and I'm teaching for 6 hours. Yes, if you don't use the abdominal muscles to help you breathe, to allow yourself to breathe, and to release tension, here's another thing. And I made a really cute little checklist for you, and I can't wait to send
Very
it to you.
cool.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
And, but my website went crazy last night. It wasn't in the mood. I was doing too much work and it said, well, I am just going to vanish for a while. So I promise you, we will get this to you. But here's something that I want you to try. How many of you have found that you grind your teeth at night or that you find yourself clenching your jaw? Have any of you found that? Oh boy, I have. I have.
Occasionally, yeah.
So go underneath your cheekbones. Okay, find your cheekbone, find the bone. Okay, you got the bone right there. Right underneath that bone, close to your hairline, I'm using my middle finger because it's really strong. And I find that little place where the pad of my finger just fits. So push in a little bit, just a little bit, and now do 5 tiny circles forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You feel how your jaw drops? Now go back the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is the temporomandibular joint, the TMJ joint, all right? When this relaxes and you allow your back teeth to separate a little bit instead of clenching them, you will find that the resonance of your sound increases and it makes it much more beautiful. Plus, it's a lot easier on your jaw and you won't have a headache. Because a lot of people don't understand why they get headaches, and a lot of times it has to do with occipital tension right here at the back of the neck, and it has to do with the TMJ joint that's grabbing. Because our masseter muscles are this wide. Look at this. Look how wide those muscles are on either side of the face. The masseter muscles are the things that clench the jaw. So you must release that and hum. Humming is one of the most healing things you can do. And all you need to do is open the back teeth a little bit and just go. And if you're in the subway in New York, nobody will know what you're doing because they won't even hear you. If you have to be warmed up and you have no privacy, hum to yourself. You're feeling lousy, hum to yourself because the vibrations change how you feel because everything, guess what, is made of vibration. Everything vibrates, including stones. So when you feel the jaw, you feel a headache, try this. Try this. Go into this place right under your cheekbone to the temporomandibular joint and give yourself little tiny revolutions, and you will see how it releases pressure. Because I want to hear all of your voice. And when you get lost with how do I breathe, lie down, put your hand on your belly, and your breath and your stomach going up and down is the perfect way to breathe. Haven't you heard a baby cry for hours? You don't hear a horse baby because they're breathing perfectly. So it's possible. Believe me, it's possible. And that is part of the physical manifestation of charisma because it's allowing you to use your unique sound. I don't want you to sound like anybody else. I want you to sound like you because there ain't nobody like you and you're needed.
Change
That's
your
my 2
breathing,
cents.
change your breathing or your breath, and you will change your life.
Oh,
I
I think
learned,
so.
I used to have chronic bronchitis. I would
Oh, yeah.
catch colds, and I would, for 3 months, I was the kid in the classroom who always,
Uh-huh,
I mean, nonstop.
uh-huh.
It was so embarrassing. But at 17, I started doing yoga and mostly yoga breathing. And by a little after 18, when I went for a checkup, my spots from my lung disappeared, and I've been I don't even catch colds, not even the flu. My son and my wife, they had the flu for the past few weeks. I didn't even catch it. So it's all because I keep doing the yoga breathing. What I learned 40 years ago, Jesus, time is flying. What I learned 40 years ago is that, and I don't know if it's still true, that women tend to wear dresses and pants and whatever that restricts their tummy area, and they mostly breathe from um, upper chest. So it's harder for them to learn that diaphragmal or the abdominal breathing. But as you
Right.
said, yeah, lay down on your back, put a hand on your chest, one on your stomach, and
And
just
you
keep
will
on
feel it.
practicing. Yeah. But once you learn to control it, I mean, when you are anxious, just focus on your breathing, make sure you have a full breath starting. Like it can almost like a wave, like it goes first to
Yes,
the stomach,
it's
then to the
beautiful.
middle, and then to the top. And then you let it out in the same order. It's
Yes,
also like a meditation. It's a
it,
meditative act. So if you can do 10 of those 2, 3 times a day, you will become a calmer person and
no
kind of
question.
benefits, all kind of benefits.
Question.
And then this one,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a muscle relaxant, but I think
No,
it
it
has to
it
do also.
actually releases, it helps the masseter muscles
Yeah.
release.
So that's why I said it's a muscle,
Yeah, and
but
you're affecting that's where the TMJ
yeah,
joint is. You're actually touching that joint as
yeah.
well.
But I also believe, and I could be wrong here, that it has to do with pressure puncture. Because as
Yes,
I did that, I feel the pain, and I know that when I feel that pain, the meridians are out of balance. So I know that if I massage it, then the meridians will rebalance. Like I'm healing my wife from headaches, I heal myself from toothache, from knee pain with pressopuncture. But that's the sign
yes.
that you have something, is that you have pain. Like this
Hmm.
one is for headaches, toothaches, like you have these meridians and you
Right.
know where to massage it, you can eliminate. But yes, I felt there. Okay, I'm like, okay, I need to work on this after the
Yeah, because it aches a little bit, and that means that the masseter
yes,
muscles are clutching, that the jaw is clutching.
yes.
Yeah.
And then once you the pain goes away once you
Hmm.
massage it just the
Exactly.
right time. Yeah.
Exactly.
So breath and come with the mindset of I'm here to serve.
Yes.
How about posture?
Posture is part of the whole body language thing. Because when you walk into a room, it's not just put your head up and your shoulders back. Not everybody has to walk that way. But if I walk in all hunched over and covering my heart, covering myself, I can sneak into a room and be pretty invisible. I can walk into a room and everyone will turn around and look. It has to do with energetics. It has to do with what you do with your body. And one of the exercises that I did put on this sheet, which you will get, but I'm going to show it to you right now. I call it own the real estate you stand on. Okay? Because if you don't have that grounding in your body, when you are walking in, even to a meeting, I'm not just talking on stage, I'm talking in life. I want you to be powerful. It's not only when you have to perform or when you're in a meeting. I want you to feel that you own yourself and that you deserve to be here because you do. Because you do. So, what you do is now my hands are going to disappear, but I just want you to try this with me. Is take your arms and your hands, make your hands into a point, okay? Make them into arrows. And you are going to stretch your arms out and try to touch the walls. I want to touch the wall all the way over there, and I want to touch the wall all the way over there, and stretch out, stretch out. And if you're standing, you want to make sure you relax your knees. And now I'm going to raise my arms and I'm going to go to the ceiling and I'm going to grab the ceiling because the ceiling is mine too. And now I'm going to clasp my hands. I'm going to put the hands on the back of my head right here. And I'm going to allow, this is the key, allow the elbows to go in. Allow your chin to go into your chest. And you're going to feel 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you're going to raise your hands to the ceiling again. Raise your hands to the ceiling, grab the ceiling, own that ceiling, own the room, come down, grab the walls, and now go up again, go up again. This is the second time. We're only going to do it one more time, and back of the head, and allow the elbows to come in, and allow the chin to go into the chest, and feel the back of the neck releasing. Breathe. Breathe that neck to release it. And 3, and 4, and 5. And now up to the ceiling. This is the last one. Grab the ceiling. Grab the ceiling. Grab the walls. This is my space. You are enlarging your energy right now. Up to the ceiling. Up to the ceiling. Interlace your fingers. Back of the head. This is the last one. And now you're going to feel how much more the chin is going to go into the chest. Allow those arms to fall in. And keep breathing, keep breathing. Release the occipital on the back of the neck. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And up to the ceiling. Up to the ceiling. Grab the ceiling and allow your arms to come down. Do you see what that does, even to my sound? And how it enlarges my energy? So when I walk in, you know that I've walked in because we have widened our energy. We are owning the real estate that we stand upon, and that is essential. That is essential. Instead, we are taught in school, our schools teach us, and I'm an educator, so I can say this because I'm within the system, that our schools teach us to fold our hands, lower our eyes, and be quiet. And I say, basta with that. Forget about that. Absolutely not. We're here to make noise. We're here to make a difference. We have something to share, and we have something to give. So we are not here to be assembly line workers. Not that there's anything wrong with being assembly line workers, because it has made our society what it is. Okay, we needed to go through that age, but now we're in a different age. So I want you to enjoy the largesse of your energy. What animates you? Where does that word animate come from? From anima, from soul, from the Latin, from Italian. Allow that to show by enlarging who you are. And you don't have to do it with that kind. No, you can do it with softness. Sometimes softness and quiet can reach, and if you're definitely speaking, you want different levels of speaking, you can reach into an audience's heart, and you can hold 12 or 12,000 in the palm of your hand. When you are willing to reveal, not show off, reveal your essence, because that is magic. And I want us to have something that I think is key. One of the things that dissolves fear is realizing how alike we are. Do you realize, and I've sung for the Queen of Thailand and the Sultan of Oman and had lunch with the cultural minister of China. Do you know something? All of us, every single one, if we don't take a bath, we get smelly. And all of us inside have this little child that says, please, please notice me. Please see me. Won't you please listen to me? Please appreciate me. You don't need to imagine people in their underwear to make you feel comfortable on stage. Know that inside of every single person, there is this being who says, please appreciate me. We all have that. When you know that as truth, Pop, my beautiful, beautiful father-in-law, who's not on this planet, he was from North Carolina. He used to say, baby girl, the truth will stand up when everything else falls down. And that's the truth, that all of us have this inside. And when you know that, you can look even at the people who are being cruel and unkind is because they aren't being appreciated or noticed. You can stand in that. When you stand in that, it gives you more confidence and more courage.
What I love about you, Adria, is that whether you speak to one person,
Mhm.
because we had conversations,
Just you and
or
I.
you
Yeah.
speak to hundreds or thousands,
Yeah.
you deliver the same intensity. And when I create video shorts of our recordings, you just amazing. Like I tried to create shorts from one of my recent presentations where I spoke to a group of about 12 people, and I am hunching a little bit over and I'm a little bit more meek. And I'm like, wow. Because depending on the room, I alter how I deliver. But now I will consciously stand up straighter and deliver with, because you want to be able to reuse your content in the future. And I really don't
Everyone.
like my last recording. So some things that you mentioned is own the space,
Yes.
exercise,
Yes.
all that. So I'm speaking at an
Yes.
event. I'm giving a keynote in April,
Mm.
and the first thing that I asked was, when can I go see the space? You
Yes.
always want to see the space where you will speak, because at home, mentally, when you practice, you want to be able to visualize it. And also, you go in there, you ask for permission to spend some time in that place. You check the how it sounds. Will you need a microphone or not? And you can do those exercises in there. And the exercise that you described, it has at least three benefits. One of them is, especially for those of you who struggle with fear of stage, fear of public speaking, one of them is the self hypnosis, what I call self hypnosis. You can call
Mm.
it affirmations. I think it's way more powerful. Self hypnosis, you use specific words instead of some fancy words that don't mean much. But I own this space. And you can say also that I'm confident, relaxed, right? So
Yes.
one thing is the self-hypnosis. The other one they call mental fitness exercises, because when you do all that ritual, it takes you out of your head. It takes you into those motions and those words, and you cannot do both, like be
Right.
terrified. And while you
Right.
do that, also watch your breathing. Try to breathe fully, stomach, middle, midsection, top. And then it gives you good stretch also. So, but absolutely love it. And then when it comes to communication one-to-one,
Yes.
the golden rule is dangerous. I cannot treat everyone the way I want to be treated. I have to respect others and treat them the way they want to be treated, because some people are more subdued, more, their language is cleaner. So I have to slow down a little bit and talk to them in their way. And then others are more like me, and I can speak freely and just go berserk. And so, but when it comes to stage, treat others the way you want to be treated. So think about you being at an event and the speaker comes in and it's a little hunched in, and hi everyone, I'm Johnny Johnson, and I am a professor emerite of, and they don't do eye contact, and you don't want that, right? You want people to come out confident and start with a story or a punchy question or engage you right away. So do that for others when you speak. Get out there, stand up straight, be confident. You don't have to be. I was horrified in my first 20 presentations, horrified. But guess what? I prepared my first minute-long introduction, and I came out straight, and I delivered that minute-long introduction, and then I gave them a group activity. And then I cheated. I checked what's coming next because I can't remember a whole hour-long
Absolutely.
speech.
Absolutely.
And then I went to the next part, but yeah, so I faked it. Fake it till you make it. Lots of people are not the fake it till you make it. No, fake it till you make it. In the beginning, you just project it, even if you act as if. So yeah, don't be like the ones you see, people who are strange when they do public speaking. Don't be like them. Learn from them. I became a public speaker because I went to many conferences and the speakers were horrible. And I thought, oh my God. because I knew how much they were getting paid because I was a leader, one of the top managers of the organizations, and I knew how much we were paying them. And I'm like, oh my God, they getting paid so much. And I mean, sometimes I fell asleep. So yeah, don't be like those people. Get inspired by them and be better. All right. So anything else about body language that you can perhaps?
Yes, I have another trick that I want to share with you is all of us, and I don't care how young, or did it happen yesterday? Did it happen 5 minutes ago? Did it happen when you were five? You have a moment, at least one moment in your life that you say, oh, this was wonderful. I felt so happy in that moment. I had won a contest. I had won Jeannie with the light brown hair. Well, my hair isn't light brown, as you can see, but I won Jeannie with the light brown hair. And I would go to schools in my beautiful 1856 costume. It was a ballroom. I had a crown. I had a beautiful purple cape, and it was so much fun. And I remember this little girl coming up to me, and she said, Miss Jeannie, because a hairpin had fallen out of my curls. And she had the hairpin so reverently in her hand and said, Miss Jeannie, I think you dropped this, with this smile on her face that melted my heart. When I forget that I am of value to someone in this world, I can remember that moment. So pick a moment in your life, pick a moment, then take your thumb. I have a little bit of a nail here, but I take the thumbnail and put it into the bed of the index finger. And I press rather hard, okay, that it goes, ow, a little bit, okay? I'm remembering the look on that little girl's face. I'm closing my eyes. I'm seeing and remembering how I felt. I'm seeing the smile on her face. I'm seeing how happy my singing made her. And then I open my eyes and I release that little owie that I made. Anytime you want to feel that again, all you have to do is touch your thumb to your index finger and just press in, and that feeling will come back to you. I call that anchoring. That's a confidence anchor, because you're remembering that someone in this world went, oh, and it is true that they remember not what you said, but how you made them feel. That is true. So remember how someone made you feel, how you felt in a moment. Anchor that, anchor that. And when you do that, it changes how you are in this world.
And that anchor can be anything. Like
Yes,
it can be
anything at all
it
that
can
makes you
be
feel
squeezing your earlobe, or what Adria showed, or it can be anything that you choose. And same thing was in the auto suggestion book about triggers. So many athletes, they have a ritual before their event, like you might have the I own the room, right?
absolutely.
It can be something like you say your auto suggestive message and you rub your two fingers and you anchor
Yes,
that. Like, I
yes,
own the stage. I'm confident. I
yes.
will deliver an amazing message and people will love it.
Yeah.
Just repeat that a few times, and whatever that anchor is, it can be anything. You can choose it.
And the brain doesn't know the difference, doesn't know the difference of if I'm imagining this right now or I'm doing it. I was a professional athlete. To be that kind of a performer, to be climbing down scaffolding that of 30 feet in the air and singing the habanera, well, yeah, you need to be in shape. You need to be really strong, and you don't have to worry about the danger. You just have to keep going. That is being an athlete. That is saying, this is what I love to do, and I'm going to do everything that it takes to do it. And because you are unique in this world and you have something to share, do everything in your power to actually make sure that that gets out into the world. Because not somebody like you is needed, you are needed. Believe me, you are. I'm not blowing smoke. I don't do that.
Well, and just think about it. You, each of you, you have knowledge that can make a difference in other people's lives. And when you don't share that, you hurt lots of people because they could have a better life if you shared your knowledge. So let your voice be heard through video, through public speaking, through podcast, through a book, through a blog. I don't know if blogging works so much anymore, but social media, but specifically public speaking, because that's what people hear best and record best. So something, go ahead.
I want to comment, Debbie, on what you said here. I do a process called TMRT, which uses NLP. And yes, it asks you to imagine. And Debbie is saying that for 3 to 6% of the population with aphantasia is mind's eye blindness, that you cannot imagine. And I understand because I had a client the very first time I became certified in this thing. But what was interesting is I was taking her through the memories of her life, just memories of her life in the past, made a difference. And by the end of that session, no, I never went through the entire TMRT process because she said, I can't imagine what the pain was like in the past. I don't have that kind of imagination. But what happened in just going through the things that made her presently happy changed her state of mind. So there are all sorts of ways, Debbie, of doing this. It is not only there, one size does not fit all. It really doesn't, because we learn differently and we have different gifts and we have different abilities. So forgive me, Sebastian, I really wanted to
Oh no, I'm
honor
glad that you addressed that. I wanted to circle back there.
important.
I'm glad that you addressed that. Yes. And I've never.
Yeah, I want to thank you for addressing that and knowing what it is, because
I
it's
agree.
such a frustration
Oh,
that I can hypnotize other people. I can design amazing things. I'm a brilliant storyteller.
ooh,
But every time somebody says, imagine the beach or remember that happy moment, my brain and I just shut down because
Wow.
I've gotten to the point where I just sort of turn off because
mhm,
now that I understand what's causing it, I don't respond to the frustration as much.
good,
But
good.
I'm so aware when I listen to people talking about coaching techniques and things
Oh,
that there's this, the musical, a chorus line,
yes.
the I See Nothing song. And now I hear that and I go, aphantasia. That is the best musical number ever about aphantasia.
And when Debbie said, and I'm a good storyteller, you could hear in
Yes.
her voice that indeed she is a good storyteller.
And that you people, I don't care how old we are, Debbie, all of us have inside of us this, tell me a story. Come on, just tell me a story. All of us do. So if you've got that, baby, you've got it. You've
I
got
tell
it.
stories that make people like Excel who
Oh,
hated it. So I
wow.
know I'm good.
Wow. Amen to that.
All right, so we have about 9 minutes left. We're
How did that
starting.
happen? Okay.
Well, when Adria speaks, time flies. Uh, so we started with the charisma stuff because this was a improve your mojo session about improving your charisma. But let's dial back a little bit and talk about those who listen to the recording and maybe those who are here who have fear of public speaking. And I will
Yes.
let you give some advice. And I suspect that I will agree with some, and maybe I will think that it's not complete because I think you were born with, you know, the stage presence. But you see, I'm prejudging. So go ahead. What
Okay.
can people do if they have a fear of public speaking?
Now I get a chance to fight with Sebastian. Okay.
Yes. Let's see. Let's see. I'm curious about
Okay.
this because I
So,
hear from experts, and half the time I'm like, no way. Just preparing, just knowing you. I knew my topic inside out, but once I stood up, in like 30 seconds, my voice would start shaking and I would
it's
break down and
gone.
cry. Everything, like my knees were melting, my stomach cramping, my heart. I thought people could see my heart beating through my chest, and I would feel like I would faint, so I would have to stop.
Yes, 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 I understand. I believe that those of us who decide to come to this earth again, and we put ourselves in situations where we have to learn. And some of the lessons are so painful that it makes you want to pull your hair out, okay? But there is something inside of us that when you get to a place in your life, when you understand that your soul, that the soul agreement, you've chosen something, and that refinement, why it may have been a living hell when you were inside of it, when you were going through it, what happened is that was the test that your soul chose. So you go through the test, and you see, I saw someone who was so charismatic that it scared me, Sebastian. It scared me because I adored my father. My father had such fascination when he spoke about anything that if he would start talking about this glass of water, pretty soon all of us would be going, really? Really? Wow. An ability that was amazing, but he used it to manipulate people. It made me so afraid of my own power, of my own ability to be able to understand people. That is one of my greatest gifts. Yes, I have something that I feel. I really feel in my body. I'm one of those extra sensitive souls. Well, I pick it up. That is part of what made me good on stage. That's part of what made me good on stage, observing human beings. And I don't know that I had this gift when I was born, but I observed it and I learn. I am a monster of learning. I love to learn. I'm always learning. And even when I am teaching a class on social communication on the spectrum, they taught me so much when I was trying to explain something. Now, is there passion in me? Oh, Sebastian, of course there is. I'm Spanish, I'm Italian, I'm Cuban. For heaven's sakes, my middle name is passion. Okay, I agree with that. But the skill has to do with recognizing that big love, not ooga booga, let's jump behind a bush, but big love holds the planets in place. Big love is what I went through for 10 years with realizing that my poor mate was mentally ill and I thought it was an alcohol problem. And that you finally understand what unconditional love is. When you understand that, it changes how I present myself because I'm not presenting anything. I'm being because now I understand in every cell, not just intellectually. I understand in every cell what unconditional love is. Once you go there, to me, that's the ultimate charisma. Because I had a chair of the department at the university say to me, I don't understand why the students run down the hall to hug you. I don't get that. Yeah, you know why they do that? Because they know I love them. Period. We
So,
all have that power.
mhm. So with all that in mind also, so if somebody has fear of public speaking, can you recommend anything to do to lower that or eliminate?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Usually, I'm not going to say 100% of the time, but usually that comes from an event in our lives when we were mocked, when someone's told us to sit down and shut up, when a teacher made fun of you, when something happened to you and you were so terribly embarrassed. I have worked with politicians. I have worked with teachers. I have worked with speakers. I now have not only NLP hypnosis available to me, and also the memory resolution technique, which helps dislodge and bring to the surface some memories that are holding you back. There is, okay, we're like an iceberg. There is 5% is above the water. Okay, that's our conscious mind. 95% is underneath the water. It can still sink your ship, can't it? So what happens is the stuff that stays stuck at the bottom of the iceberg in your unconscious and your subconscious mind starts running. It is running your show. So when one of the things that changed me to want to have the courage to become truly visible is that I went through this process myself, because there was a point in my life when I was ready to leave this planet. And that was less than a year ago, because I said, I just can't go through anymore. I don't have the strength to do this. And when I discovered this technique, I actually became certified in it, because I have helped people in relationship problems, in life transition problems, in fear of speaking, because we're getting to the point of where it was, and we are shifting the lens of how we look at what happened, so that it no longer has the grasp on you. And it's as though you reach out to do something with one hand, and the unconscious says, no, 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 don't do that, because, oh, that could be scary. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. No, 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 stay quiet. Instead, when you get to the point and you say, no, I'm not going to stay quiet. This is who I am. If you don't like it, it's okay. It's okay. So there are techniques that can truly make a difference. And I love doing that. I did that the other day in a voice lesson at the university, and also with a client in Australia. And we were working on dissolving something that she said it took me 3 hours to make a 2-minute video. I said, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Yes.
So,
So there are techniques that can help. Yes.
yes. And Adria will share, if you don't mind, put your contact info in the chat, Adria, and people
Oh,
can reach out
absolutely.
to you and learn more about those techniques. And
Absolutely.
she will also send you the freebie she recommended. I mean that she
Yes, and I'm going to make a little tiny video to go with it, because when you do these 4 steps, I want you to remember the exercise that we did, because that does 2 things. It warms up the body, but it also allows you to own the space that you stand in, and a couple of the breathing things. So I'll make a short video, and then you'll have this, and then you will put it into your mind and heart in your way. So this is very easy.
and I put my email address in there. I have 3 checklists. One of them is how to eliminate fear of public speaking. One of them is how to improve your public speaking in general. And one of them, how to get paid to speak. So if you want any of those, send me an email.
Yes.
And I will also share with you in a moment how I got over my phobia of public speaking. And now I speak. I mean, as a profession, I get paid up to $10,000 per speech. But before I share that with you, Debbie has patiently up her hand. So go ahead, Debbie.
I just wanted to say that you triggered a memory that I haven't thought about for a while. In high school, I had got a great gift.
Okay.
I took an acting class,
Yeah.
and everything was fine, but there was a song I had to sing at the end. I have no problem, you will be shocked to hear, talking in front of anybody. But singing, I can't sing on key for love or money.
Okay.
And I don't like to torture people, so I generally avoid doing it. But this was young. I was in my teens. I was in high school, and I had to sing a song at the end of the scene I was doing. And I said, "I'm done." And he said, my acting teacher said, "Isn't there a song?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I'm not going to do that piece." He said, "No, no, you're going to do that piece."
Ooh.
And then he had me do the piece up to that, start singing. He had everybody in the class point at me and make nasty comments.
Oh my.
And no, it was wonderful, because he looked at me when it was over and he said, "There's nothing worse that could ever happen. That's it. That's it. That was the worst." And he said, "You have to do it to the end. You have to sing all the way to the end of the song." And he just egged everybody on.
Debbie, that's fantastic.
It was amazing. It was such a gift. Sadly, years later, and it was in a weaving class for about 4 or 5 days. Every day while I was weaving, I was singing Summertime from Porgy and Bess. And
Oh.
on the 5th day, the woman next to me said, "I'm so sorry, but could you not sing? You're really off key." And I said, "I'm so sorry. I would never." purposely
Oh,
tortured you for 4 days. There's no problem. I can like hum quietly to myself. I don't need to sing. But it never occurred to me not to sing as I was weaving. And I tortured this poor woman for 4 days. But I wasn't hurt or upset when she said it because of what happened in high school.
because of what happened.
So,
And it's how you took it too, Debbie. How beautiful.
So
yeah,
How beautiful.
we humans are so amazing and very different. Like we went on a boat trip. I thought we would just go around in the marshland, so show around in Beaufort area, but no, I didn't realize it was a freaking speedboat. It
Ooh.
took off with 100 miles an hour. I don't know how fast, whatever. I mean, it just, I mean, the front went up. My son was 4 years old. He was very shy and he
Oh,
would cry really easily. And his face went, "Ah!" And I'm like, oh my God, he'll be screaming and crying for the whole hour. And he went, oh yeah, baby. And he loved it. And Debbie, you are like that because that could have gone either way. It could have
exactly.
been a traumatic event. Some people would have
Exactly.
for a lifetime been the biggest trauma of their life, but for you it was helpful.
How
So like for my son,
beautiful.
it was like, yeah, baby.
Yes. Yes.
yeah. On the other hand, the thing that did not traumatize your son, no, I don't do carnival rides. I don't do speed. I'm afraid of heights. But I can sing in a pinch and you can laugh at me and I don't care.
Oh, how utterly beautiful. I have so enjoyed being here. I've enjoyed meeting you and being with you. And Sebastian, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome.
Thank
If you
you.
have time, let me
I would love that. Yes, drop your
yeah,
email.
you can drop your emails in
Please
here.
do.
And also there are the 3 dots. Are there 3 dots?
Yeah, where? Do you mean
There
on
should be
our
3 dots where you can save everybody, where you can
Oh
save
yes,
chat.
where you can save chat. I'm not oh yes, it's up at the top.
It's
It's
up
up
at the
at the
top.
top in the title.
Why
It says
don't I
save
see?
chat. So pop it in. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Usually
you can
at
all
the
put
bottom
your
on top.
emails in there. Also, you can connect those of you who signed up on Alignable.
Mhm.
Everybody's names is there. You can connect with each other.
Yes.
But yeah, if you guys you want to hang in for 2 minutes, I can tell you how I got over my phobia of public speaking. So I joined Toastmasters. That was, and people were pushing me towards it, and I was resisting it because I thought it was an organization where people learn to do the perfect toast, like for the weddings, Toastmasters. But yeah, that helped tremendously. I was a member for more than 10 years, and again, I took some college classes, which is not necessary, but what is necessary is to continuously practice, and that's what I did with Toastmasters. Week after week, I was able to stand up and practice. And what I didn't realize, I'm a martial artist. I'm a fanatic martial artist. I started judo at 12, boxing at 14, martial arts at 17, working out 6 days a week, 2-hour workouts. I thought I was a very confident young man. Yeah, I had a fear of public speaking, but other than that, I was a very confident young man. Public speaking and Toastmasters, the two combined, elevated my confidence levels to levels that I did not know that existed. I was shocked because I thought I was already a very confident. Those of you who know est, now it's what is it called now? The
Landmark?
forum. The forum.
Oh, the forum. Okay.
Yeah. In the olden days, it was very rough, like a boot camp. So I went through that, changed my life, and I lived very confidently and lived out loud since age 24. But yeah, public speaking and Toastmasters took my confidence to a completely different level. So yeah, the key is to just keep on growing. And if you need coaching, I take on coaching clients. Sometimes Adria takes on clients.
I do.
Reach out to us. For me, the coaching was I got coached by June Davidson, 82 years old when she started coaching me. She charged $5,000 for a year's worth of coaching, and I said, "Can I pay you $550 a month?" Which is way more. She said, no, I need to know that you are committed. It's 5,000 a year or there's no deal. So I hired her,
Oh,
changed my life. She taught me how to prepare my marketing materials, how to communicate with organizations. She taught me
wow.
everything, how the stage presence, how to open everything. So coaching is priceless. So
Yes,
if you need
changed my
coaching,
life. Yes,
yeah, reach out to us or find somebody who you are comfortable with. Yeah, for
absolutely.
me, Toastmasters and coaching were the most useful in eliminating my fear and making me into the speaker I am today. If you have any
I
questions,
just discovered something,
go ahead.
which is if you have a premium subscription to LinkedIn, there's
Mhm.
a lot of people out there looking for speaking coaches.
Mm.
Because I have a friend who's a life coach who's not big on social media, and I was giving her a hand, and she had signed up for premium. And it was interesting because she's a hypnotherapist. She does
Mhm.
something similar to what you do,
Right,
Adria.
right.
And there's an option in LinkedIn for requests,
Mm.
and it filters them according to what you say you do. And about 10% of the life coaching requests were actually speaker coaching requests.
Interesting.
So,
I got a couple of clients from there, both for consulting and for speaking coaching. Yeah, so
yeah,
I've,
yeah.
I've, I've been getting those notifications every week for
Yeah,
years.
wonderful. Ah,
Adria, any last thoughts before we say loving goodbyes?
um, let's see. Wait a second. I'm going to
And
change.
if anybody still has a question, raise
Yes,
your
if
hand
anyone has a
or
question,
just unmute yourself and go for
by
it.
all means, by all means. Anybody at all? Uh-huh.
Thank you, both.
Well, you are so welcome. And the only thing that I have to end with is there was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he traveled very far, over land and sea. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Thank you.
Thank you, Adria.
Here. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you all. Hope
Wonderful.
to see you at the next event.
Ciao.
Bye all.